everybody should have been trading the MNQ, right? Did anybody trade along with us? Anybody trade with us? TJ, you had a good trade. Francis, all right. Get some of that money back from that horrible day. Bullinox is still alive. Absolutely, TJ. So's mine. So's mine. This was very big in my Bullinox recovery. I'm saving that account. Um, Francis, thanks for the screenshots. Calvin, you're so funny, man. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. The king of woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Anyone trade silver this morning? Did anyone trade silver? All right. Market open. Very, very, very nice market open trade. Taking away the breakout, removing that strategy. YM looked good this morning. Um, I want to do some extra testing on the YM. I don't like, we don't really have, I'm actually perfectly fine just doing magnets on the YM every morning. That may be the way we do it. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. All right. Removing everything that we have going right now. All strategies being removed. I am going to take 3 minutes to heat up the coffee. 3 minutes. Calvin, you didn't pass it? You should have passed it if you traded two contracts, right? You should have passed it with two contracts. You didn't do what you said you were going to do? Oh, oh, you know what? We weren't thinking. We gave you bad advice. We gave you bad advice. Two contract, your target was too small to make the money to pass the account. We weren't thinking. We were not thinking. It should have been more contracts. We really gave you bad advice. Wrong, wrong advice. All right. Welcome, everyone. I'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm taking the mic with me. I'm just heating up my coffee. Just heating up my coffee.
According to Xinhua, China Vice Premier He Lifeng held a call with US's Besant and Treasury and Trade Representative Greer. He says that both sides had in-depth and constructive exchanges. He says that we agreed to promote stable development of economic and trade ties.
Okay, everyone should be able to hear me now. Can you all hear me? Good. Okay, so Chris Ray. I'm driving home for Christmas. Ba-dum-ba-ba-ba-da. Check it out. Chris Ray, REA. He's a very lucky man. He survived pancreatic cancer more than 10 years ago. Most people don't survive it. And he survived a stroke. And he's still touring and playing. And he's old. He's doing good. But it's a great Christmas song. I love Christmas music. But let's talk about this difficult report that we have. I think he's British, Francis. I think he's British. So that would make sense. I'm almost positive he's from the Great Britain, from England. That's why. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm positive. I'm positive. So look, everybody, this
The
is
Swiss government has
ultra
backing from a clear
risk.
majority of groups who
Ultra
consulted
risk.
over the proposed new
In
agreement with the
March,
EU, according to Swiss
120
info.
tick move. We have a spike sheet, and it's also never traded with preliminary University of Michigan. So, what I would recommend if you're going to trade this, the MNQ is pretty low risk, and there is a mistake on the DMM. The stop is not 15. It should have been 150. Oh my God. Hey, folks, that's serious. I just noticed it. Give me 3 minutes to just send everyone a quick
This is in
email.
relation to the Swiss government, who are to submit an EU deal to Swiss Parliament on March of 2026. The government are to
That's a
implement
big deal.
adjustments on the Swiss EU deal, and the Swiss EU package is
I don't want to
expected
get
to
the
go into
company
Swiss
sued.
Parliament again March 2026.
Give me 3 minutes. That's how long it takes me to fix this. So sit tight. This is a must. I can't win today. I definitely can't win. I can't win. Give me a minute. Okay. So what I was saying is this. If you're going to trade this report, look at the sell-off. Look at the signal, friends. Look at the signal. Aftershock reversal. Right here. Right here. How much did it go against you? Let's just take it at the worst possible place. Might have been a problem. Might have been a problem today. However, the rule is this. If you take an aftershock reversal, the stop must be, no matter what, above the high of day if that's the trade you're taking. If it's too much risk, don't trade it. Now on MNQ, it would have needed 130 ticks of a stop. MNQ, that's a manageable stop. That's okay. It would have been okay. Now, I am willing to risk the safety of a prop account to test our gold trap trade on this report. Just remember, please, that the MNQ stop is 150, not 15. It's 150. All right. So, as I was saying, this report normally has been trading at 8:30. It doesn't trade at 10 o'clock. That's a problem. We have no testing on this report anymore because since August, it changed the time. It changed the time. All right. The time of the trade is at 10. The time of the trade is at 10. The trigger is 9:59:59. Is the MNQ going to be safe? We really don't know 100%. It's not great testing. When we look at the spike sheet on the MNQ, it looks good, but it's been inconsistent. 30 and 40 ticks in June and July, 100 and 160 after that. So that would make our bracket not filled in June and July. That's the worst that could, if that's the worst that happens, that's okay. I don't mind if a bracket doesn't fill. That doesn't bother me. All right. If a bracket doesn't fill, you just cancel the trade. It's no big deal. MNQ breakout. All right. I'll trade it. Yeah, I would prefer this. I think it actually, Nitin, it's been a very poor performing trade. Out of all of our trades, it's in the top five worst over the past year and a half. It got really bad. Very inconsistent. And now it's changed time. 9:59, and it hasn't been released in, this is the third month. 9:59:59. The bracket on the MNQ is 50. Target of 25 and 55. You can go a little bit bigger on your second target. And the stop is 150. All right. Stop is 150. I would do a reverse continue. We'll set one of those up, but I'd also, let's set up the time of 0. Label the trade MNQ breakout, okay, or breakout MNQ, whichever you prefer. Right now I'm leaving it on sim for a moment just to check the bracket. Bracket manager.
Order submitted.
I
Order
like
canceled.
that. Right click, go back, and it's 9:59:59. 25 and 75 on the targets, 150 on the stop. If it hits the first target, I'll do a BE minus 10. I'll do a BE. I'll do a BE. Break even. Break even. All right. And then I'm going to put it, what account am I going to trade it in? So I'm worried about this. Well, I can trade it in my 29, I suppose, because that's micros. I did send a message off to Bullinox. I should be able to do traps in this account, and it's not letting me. All right, so we've got an MNQ putting a reverse continue on as well. It is 59. It is 59. The DMM's a mess. I didn't get the DMM till like 4 in the morning, and I'm sorry to say I rushed it and shouldn't have sent it. Should have just not sent it. Shouldn't have sent it. Adding a second strategy. I don't know why it wasn't sent to me properly. I just don't, honestly, I don't know. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes technology, it doesn't get to me. Reverse continue, 2 contracts. Now, if you set the time for 29, if you set the wrong time, it's not going to work, right? You can't do it. The trade's over. So anybody who tries to do this trade right now, if they don't know what they're doing, it's going to trigger the trade. It's not funny with a 15 bracket. It's a disaster. But, it's got conflicting information, obviously. 10 o'clock. You're not going to activate your trade at 9:29 or 10:29, right? It's a DMM mess. It's a hot mess. Position one, I'm just trading a couple of contracts on a reverse continue. I'll do 50 ticks. I think this could be a big moving report because it's got preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation data. So we have 2 inflation reports at the same time taking place.
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we have US PCE price index year on year forecast 2.8%, prior 2.7%, with a range of 2.9%
So
to
reverse continue,
2.6%.
trade
US
it in the
PCE
same
price
account,
index month over month forecast 0.3%,
label it
unchanged from the prior,
MNQ
with a range
reverse
of
continue,
0.3% to 0.2%. US core PCE price index year on year forecast
apply it,
2.8%,
okay it.
prior 2.9%, with a range of 3.1% to 2.8%. US core PCE price index month over month forecast 0.2%,
All right, so
unchanged from the
our
prior, with a range of 0.4%
MNQ
to
is ready to
0.2%.
trade.
US consumer spending month over month forecast
Now,
0.3%,
there is
prior
an RTY
0.6%, with a
setup.
range of
RTY
0.4%
tends to
to
trade
0.1%.
pretty nicely on
University of
some of
Michigan
these big
sentiment prelim
reports.
forecast
Testing,
52, prior
we don't have a
51,
ton of
with a range
testing
of
on the
55
RTY.
to 50.
We have
University of
no
Michigan
really
one-year inflation
significant testing
prelim
anymore on this
forecast
report
4.5%,
because the
unchanged
time
from the
has
prior.
changed. That
5-year inflation
changes
prelim
everything.
forecast
It truly does change the testing.
unchanged from the
So
prior.
you have to realize that. A
US
different
personal
time
income month over
is
month
a different
forecast
trade.
0.3%, prior 0.4%.
55 and
US
80
real personal consumption
on
month
a
over month forecast
on a
0.1%,
gold trap
prior
trade.
0.4%. University of Michigan
105
addition prelim
tick
forecast
move
52.1,
would ruin
prior
this trade.
51.1.
105
Michigan's
tick move would
expectations
ruin it.
prelim forecast 52.7, prior 51. US core durable goods revised,
I
prior
think the odds
0.4%.
are
US
better
durable goods
that
revised,
we'll
prior
get a
0.4%.
herky jerky move because there's 2 reports. Unless everything agrees through both reports, then it could be trouble. That's where a trap trade can be quite risky, right? When all the news is exactly agreeable, that's when news can be problematic for a trap trade because it won't reverse. What are the odds that every bit of news on this report is going to be the same? I think that's very small odds. Right now, the markets are clearly expecting good news, right? Markets are very up. So I will test a trap trade and an account on this trade. Let me just see what account I'm willing to destroy. Well, I don't have much choice because I can't. I'll take my number 28 account, which is just a normal prop account that's up 500 bucks at the moment. Okay? So I'll trade it on number 28. It's just a normal everyday prop account, nothing special. Right click, strategy, trap trade. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. If you want to reduce your risk in a trap trade, trade just position 1 and use that tier 2, 80. But you need an 80 tick move to get filled. Chances are we're not going to get 80 ticks. 959.55 on the trigger. The stop is 25. Tier 1 is 55. Tier 2 is 80. What do we say? Account number 28. Label it Trap GC. And we're ready for the trap trade. Apply it and okay it. Now, on a trade like this where there's so much unknown, it might be much wiser to just trade a magnet, right? That's the beauty of magnets. You can look for levels. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Look for levels and see if you have an opportunity. Now, we are making new highs at the moment. All right. Making new highs. I'm going to put a reverse continue with gold on here. Looking at the levels, we could trade down to R1, I suppose. Let me put the reverse continue on there. Just one position, a 40 tick target, 35 tick stop. So gold reverse continuation, GC reverse
In 5 minutes' time, we have
continue,
the US PCE price index
and
year-on-year
we'll call
forecast
it
2.8%, prior
same account,
2.7%,
number
with a range
28.
of 2.9% to 2.6%. US PCE price index month-over-month
Now, if I
0.3%,
were
prior
interested in a
0.4%, with a range of
magnet, there's a
0.6%
lot
to
below us
0.2%.
because we're making new
US core
highs,
PCE price
right?
index year-on-year forecast
So you could do
2.7%, prior 2.9%,
a
with a range of
VWAP test.
4.1%
That
to
would be an
2.3%.
interesting magnet.
US core PCE price index month-over-month forecast
51 to
0.2% increase from the prior,
74.
with a range of
It's
0.4%
200
to
ticks away, though.
0.3%.
I
US
think there's a
PCE
lot
price
of danger on
month-over-month
a gold trap
forecast
here. I do.
0.3%, prior 0.6%,
It
with a
could
range
be
of
a very
0.5% to
outsized move.
0.1%.
Let's see what
And the
happens.
University of Michigan sentiment prelim
Let's see what
forecast
happens.
52, prior 51, with a range of 55 to 50.
The MNQ is, it's more of a traditional breakout, but you can get a lot of whipping when there's multiple inflation reports that the market's really looking at, right? Now we're getting pullbacks off the highs. And we have 3 minutes. Who's trading what? Who's trading what? Type in what you're trading, if you're trading. NQ and RTY, MNQ live. So Francis is gonna want to kill me, but you made money all morning. I probably wouldn't trade cash on this report. You may kill me if it works, but I would probably keep my cash this morning. We don't know if our testing is just our testing is confusing because there's not a good amount of testing. TJ, the squeeze is so easy. If you look at the momentum, the way that I use it and the way that I think is the best for us, most people consider it a squeeze when it breaks the zero line and the color goes into the squeeze color. Lime green is the squeeze color, but what I like to do is wait for a high or a low, and when it changes from the good color to the bad color, that's my entry in the opposite direction. So it's squeezing, 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 and now here it's changed direction and momentum. That would be my short. Now, it didn't make the high yet, so there's no trade here. You can't take a short when you're testing the high. But here, you've already tested the high, so I'm starting to look in this area
4 minutes
for a
remaining.
change the
Xiaomi
color that we're
PCE
seeing.
price index year on
The
year.
minute I get that dark color, that gives me a heads up to go short with a stop above the high. Francis, you might kill me because the MNQ might work, but you have a nice profitable green morning, and now we're facing a trade with uncertain, unguaranteed testing. I personally would keep my cash this morning. I would put a reverse continue on the chart. And if there's an opportunity for that, then I might do that. But otherwise, I don't think the risk is worth it
10
because
seconds.
we don't know what the risk is on this report because so many things have changed. So that's how I
Order
look at
submitted.
cash in particular.
Order submitted.
Watching gold.
Order filled. Order filled.
Now, it looked like it hit target one, Francis, and pulled back.
2.8%,
That might not have been a
2.8%,
winning cash
as
trade,
expected.
just for
US
what
core
it's worth.
PCE price index
That
year
was
on year
not good
2.8%,
price behavior.
2.8% as expected.
That was not good price behavior, folks. Now, it did hit my
Investment Michigan
first
7-hour
target
prelim,
and then it
55 spot
stopped
free, 55 spot free, higher than forecast.
and it made $37. I was concerned that our gold trap trade was way too big. I would not let this fill. You should not let this fill as a trap trade. So cancel your gold trap trade. It's just way too far away for it to be valid anymore. It's
Order
not
canceled.
valid.
One year inflation prelim forecast coming in at 4.1%, 4.1% lower than forecast, 4.5%. US personal income 0
No
to
matter
5
what,
GDP growth of
Francis,
4%,
it was
lower
not a
than
big
forecast,
winner.
0.3%.
So
US
I
real
don't think you
consumption
missed
month to month
anything worth
0% to
losing any
0%, lower
sleep
than
over.
forecast, 0 to 1%. University of
Now,
Michigan expectations
the
prelim
news,
55,
there's
55,
so much
higher than
news.
forecast to
How does the
50.7,
market
and
interpret
Michigan
all
conditions
this
prelim
news?
50.7,
Now,
50.7,
anyone
lower
who
than forecast to
believes that
52.1.
prices are lower has lost their mind. 2.8 versus 2.9. So that's very good news, okay, if you believe it. Also, Michigan inflation numbers are lower and consumer confidence is better. All the news was good on this report, all of it, except the current conditions, which is the smallest part of the news. Now, looking at the actual price index, as expected, and they're saying personal income was up. These are fake numbers. This is fake news, in my opinion. Fake news. But I don't know that for sure. It just seems unbelievable given what you see and hear out there from real people. People are not having higher income. They're struggling. Inflation is through the roof, and I don't know where they make these numbers up from. And we don't really care. We're just responding. The markets are going to move responding to this news. But just from a I really wonder what's going on out there approach, I'm not so sure these numbers make any sense. Inflation is transitory. Yeah, I guess so. Inflation is forever. That's what inflation is. Gold, you don't need your MNQ breakout anymore. Now we had a pretty big stop on the MNQ. No one made any comments about
US Treasury yields
silver this
stabilized
morning.
after the PCE data.
Was
Also,
silver
there
lousy
were
this
personal
morning?
income and outlays and University of Michigan reports on the feed for those interested.
We're seeing prior revised for the personal spending, consumer spending, prior revised to 0.5%.
Nice trade,
Industrial
Nitin, on that one.
0.6%.
Nice
Real
NQ.
consumer spending, prior revised to 0.2% from 0.4%.
Now, was the NQ a better move? Was the NQ a better move? The MNQ looked pretty choppy. My NQ was pretty choppy this morning. MNQ. The NQ on a 1 minute chart, which is much easier to tell, just looking at the trade candle, it looks like it wasn't easy, but it looks like you got filled and it hit your target. So it did hit my first target on MNQ. It hit both your targets, Nitin? Okay. So he had a good NQ trade. A lot of wick. A lot of wick. A lot of wick. Gold really not dramatic. It moved on the report. It's not that it didn't move. Um, but if you look at the candle, it was an up and down candle, and it has gone down on the news. Now, all the news was mostly positive, and gold generally tends to go down when there's positive news, and you had an aftershock reversal taking place as well. All right. Now, Nitin, I think you were wise to use pretty reasonable targets on the NQ. I think that helped. I think that helped have a successful trade. Okay. I think that would have helped. Did anyone trade the RTY? Now, RTY looks like it would have had a decent, might have been a decent
Mark,
move
in
on that
comments
report.
past the top of the hour, that's just under
The
the comments
entire
area,
candle
DB's Lane speaks
for
on
the
China on
RTY,
global imbalances and the international monetary order at the CEPR Paris
the
meeting.
entire trade candle is only 28. So I think our bracket probably would have been safe. What was it? Was it 20 or 25? 20, I think. Right on the border. Right on the border. RTY. No, we did have a 25 bracket on the RTY. So I think it should have been safe. I think it should have been safe. Yeah, it looks like it really took 2 minutes to start moving. It took 2 minutes. And then finally it moved. All right. I want to thank everyone on YouTube. I'm going to close our stream. We'll see you all next week. We'll be streaming next week for sure. Don't forget, about our webinar. Um, we're launching our holiday challenge, 3-day holiday challenge. Lifetime software at the end of the year. That's going to be our big promotion. We will never do it again, ever. It's going to be the last time we ever offer lifetime software. That's 100%. Let me see if I can figure a way to post this on YouTube. All right. I traded RTY on Sim, but it was chopping and I removed the orders before they filled. I probably, just because something's chopping, I would not remove the orders. That's the nature of the way these markets are trading and reacting. And, the big issue today was we were a little bit worried about the safety of our setup. Uh, Obviously, our gold setup is way off, but I think our MNQ and RTYs are good. So I think it would have been okay to leave them on. But there's no question
Should leave
that
them
a
for
no
some
fill
content
is better than a
creators.
loss. I mean, normally we would wait at least 20 seconds and sometimes longer because sometimes news these days is just taking longer to respond. We are just seeing longer times sometimes for a news report to respond. Hit the like button on YouTube and thank you for watching, folks.